half of the picture of who fills out the Daytona 500 starting field. The second Gatorade 125 field now moving out onto the speedway from an area they call Gate 7 here at the racetrack. It's an opening in the wall about halfway between turn 4 and the entrance to Pit Road. Cars coming out behind the wall there behind the Pontiac Grand Prix pace car, about set to make their grid and roll off on their pace laps.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one also. You learn as much of these races as anything. Friday, we're going to get started. I get to try to learn is just how good your car is, maybe how good everybody else's car is. Let's take a quick shot look at the starting lineup. Back in 26th position is Norm Benning and Benning racing Chevrolet.
Qualifying has sustained serious damage to the front left forward Thunderbird. Likewise, heavy damage on the Chevrolet Monte Carlo of Ricky Craven in interest of the infield road course.
How many cars did wipe out? 3 of them?
They tell the associates that work in your stores various things.
Customers are very much aware of our involvement in NASCAR, and it does make us their store of choice. We have found from feedback from our counter folks that it's very important to them.
And this Sunday during the Daytona 500, Darrell Waltrip with that old chrome race car for his silver anniversary tour in the 5th position, and pretty strong effort thus far today, Mark.
Yeah, he looked good out there. He was up right in the front of the pack racing. He dropped back there for just a minute.
Ricky Craven, Lake Speed, and Loy Allen all going to the garage after being involved in an accident at lap 10 out of 50 in the second Gatorade 125.
Central Florida. Race fans have been waiting for this for a long time, all winter long, but we now know the grid for this Sunday's Daytona 500 with the running today of the twin 125-mile qualifiers. I know this is all business for the drivers, but for fans, these races especially are kind of fun because it's more like a dash. It's just a 50-lap race, no pit stops unless, of course, there are cautions. And I'll tell you one thing: if you were expecting bumping and grinding today on the track, if you were expecting dark horse winners, then you came to the wrong place. Mike Skinner was just one of 2 drivers who could feel secure in his position for Sunday's 500 as today began. Barring an accident that would force a backup car, Skinner has the pole for the 500, but learned quickly today that winning that race won't be a casual drive around the block. Defending 500 champ Dale Jarrett grabbed the lead in today's first qualifier on the backstretch of lap 1 and played Pied Piper for most of 50 laps. Just one caution in race 1 happened on lap 18. As the leaders came through turn 4 to lap Delma Coward, his number 0 car got loose into Jeff Bodine. Both spun to the infield. Bodine did manage to work back to the top 15 and will race on Sunday. Ernie Irvin took the lead from Jarrett briefly on lap 40, but DJ took it back a few laps later and ultimately won the first qualifier. He'll sit in row 2 on Sunday.
We made a lot of changes this morning, back to kind of what we raced last year, and so that excites me that we know what we've got, and we look forward to Sunday.
Jarrett certainly has his place among NASCAR's elite, but today's potentially explosive race, the second qualifier, featured a handful of the sport's marquee names. Defending points champ Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, and the man everybody watches here at the Speedway, Dale Earnhardt, still looking for that elusive first 500 victory. Earnhardt does know how to win these qualifiers. 9 times he's taken a checker here, strong again today. Just one caution in this race as well, in what otherwise was a remarkably clean day. Lap 8, Ricky Craven collects Lake Speed and Loy Allen near the start-finish line. All three, however, will race on Sunday.
You know, I screwed up today. I tried to push the issue and make up for it on Sunday.
Earnhardt began today in row 3, took the lead on lap 19, and never looked back. The familiar black number 3 joins the other Dale in row 2 for the 500.
To come down here and win this race every year and be a contender to win that 500 every year is it says pretty much about the crew and Children's Racing and what they can do.
All right, folks, let's take a look at the top 10. This is the grid for Sunday's Daytona 500. Mike Skinner, of course, for the pole. Steve Grissom ran in today's second qualifier, did not finish the race, but experimenting with his chassis, did not finish, did not want to take a chance on wrecking the car and then having to go to the back of the pack with a backup. And you see Jarrett and Earnhardt. Ernie Irvin will start in the 5th slot on Sunday. Jeff Gordon up there. You can see some of the marquee names are there. Jimmy Spencer will start in the number 7 spot. Bill Elliott had a great run today. Sterling Marlin, a 2-time winner here at the Daytona 500, will start number 9, and Ken Schrader will start number 10. He started in the 20th spot in his qualifying race today. Who says they can't pass at Daytona? Prior to today's races, a show of support for Rick Hendrick, who owns a couple of cars. I believe he owns the Jeff Gordon car, and he owns the Terry Labonte car. Terry, of course, is the defending Winston Cup points champ. Rick Hendrick has a rare form of leukemia. These drivers today announcing that they will display a bumper sticker on their cars Sunday, a 1-800 number, asking for fans to register as potential bone marrow donors. Nice show of support. Mookie Blaylock back in trouble again. Apparently, he was arrested in Vancouver a couple of weeks ago on possession of marijuana charges. He already was on probation for similar charges in the United States. Will have to reappear in Canada sometime in May. Solar Bears hockey tonight. The Milwaukee Admirals are at the arena. And good news tonight for hockey fans in Central Florida. The IHL will play its All-Star.
Denise is drinking Red Dog beer.
Beer. Cheers.
And the main souvenir we bought this year was the esky. It is Daytona Grandstand legal.
Comes off. You have a little cap.
And apart from t-shirts and caps, that's...
Jackets for other people.
We haven't bought jackets yet.
For other people.
Other people. And that's about it.
Fleet Services Chevrolet, John Redmond. In the 11th spot, the number 5 Racing USA Pontiac, Ricky Bryant. The top 10. In the Bosch Spark Plugs Pontiac, number 63, Paul Carr. In the 9th starting spot, number 58, Wynn Smith Builders Pontiac, Jake Hopgood. The 8th spot, in the Fortec Racing Ford, number 10, Danny Bagwell. In the White House Pontiac, in the 7th spot, number 30.
Experience in the field for Discount Auto Parts 200 on the front row. Young Mike Swain Jr. and the veteran Will Hopgood. Daryl Murray in the second row, along with the rookie David Amick, younger brother of last year champion Lyndon Amick, who's now in the Busch Grand National Series. Back on the third row, Brian Sockwell, and another of those grizzled veterans. So back in the field, 37 to 72. Charles Powell III, CB3.
Right now, we're going to be eased off down the pit lane to race Pontiac Grand Prix.
And Jake Hopgood, after some problems on pit road, drops back to 9th. Restart coming. Jimmy Howell has the green in the air, and the last car cars taking the checkpoint line way low between the trial.
And some say they will have to stop again for gasoline in the discount auto parts 200. Here they come, back to the tri-oval. Christian Elder breaking out of line. His silver machine, number 21. Has stopped in the racing groove, has come to a halt, is now to take safety drivers driving down through the infield grass, down the lane and wide. But a wild ride for George Crenshaw on the turn number 4, as now the other car involved is, we look down there through the glasses, one others 200.
Machine sitting on the tri-oval grass as safety crews begin to go into the aid of George Crenshaw.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars involved. David Amy's car all of a sudden made a hard left turn down into traffic, and others collected in that as well, but we're back under caution as quickly as we were under green.
And it does appear that most of the cars involved will be able to move away under their own power. In Houston and Paul Carr's machines may be locked together. Houston's going to tires trying to free himself. He's still on the lead lap. The car may even be raceable. But right now, he's locked in a mechanical embrace.
And it looks like something at the front end is locked. You can see that we're talking about the blue machine down here that's faced towards the grandstand. And the rear wheels moving a whole lot faster than the front wheels. He does have front contact, so evidently some kind of sheet metal pierced in on the right front, which you can tell the toe in is out, meaning that the toe in is the alignment. If the car is towed in, the wheel is pointing in towards the motor. Looks like that's his case, as now both cars sit on the apron at the racetrack, waiting for help from a wrecker to come out and pull them away. But I think we've seen everything in this race but locusts. It's been a competitive race, but you name it, and we see it here today. And 9 laps remain on the board as Mike Swain Jr. takes the field back.
Mike mentioned that Ned Combs doing a great job of avoidance. Ned Combs, who started alongside Andy Houston on the last row, is a beneficiary of Paul Carr's and Andy Houston's problems. Ned Combs now moving up into the number 7th position on the board. Gary Moore moves to the 8th spot, and Denny Neuenberger now posted in the number 9 position. Good night.
Coming up later tonight at the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Lecture Hall is the Ken Squire Show on MRN Radio tonight at 9. Admission is free. Ken's guests are Bobby Hamilton and Kyle Petty tonight. Be sure to swing on by the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical and University Lecture Hall. It is, again, free. And, of course, you can check out it. You can check the radio show out. If you can't make it in person, tune in to 102.7 FM. Also, WNDB 1450 AM on the dial. The Ken Squire Show tonight at 9 on MRN Radio.
Also needing a tow away from the accident site is number 69 of Junior Miller, longtime star of the Nascar Racing Series Modified Division at the Roman Gray Stadium. He had a run that could very well have ended in a top 10 finish, but he also will leave on the hook following this restart crash with
Sockwell has the lead. Christian Elder taking a higher line in his silver car. Sockwell takes the groove right down the middle of the racetrack. Off turn 4, still racing side by side, 2 rows deep for third on back. It will not do any good. Here's Brian Sockwell through the tri-oval checkered flag as Brian Sockwell wins the discount auto parts 200. Christian Elder was third, and check that second, and a photo finish for third. Robert Huffman trying to rally in the outside lane to take that spot. It's too close to call, but Brian Sockwell wins the National Series season opener here at Daytona International Speedway.
Caution laps. They will continue to count in the course of the day's events, but in the I help you further ease and identification of your favorites. You're getting the 2 to go signal right now. Tommy Kendall, there he is in the violet or purple colored car. Robbie Gordon is in the silver machine. Darrell Walton in the yellow.
To the third place battle of Earnhardt LaJoy. Martin looking for an opportunity, being patient as the field enters turn number 3. Allenser Jr. a 2-car length advantage over the field through the corner. Martin running out of time as the field rumbles off a turn 4 towards the checker.
This is the 81st IROC race ever. Allenser Jr., the winningest driver in series history. This will be number 11. Allenser Jr. wins. That's your top 5 in this first round of the 1997 IROC Series. As the field gargoyles 300. All of that yet to come here at the World Center of Racing this afternoon. If you're curious, we mentioned Allenser Jr. being the winningest driver in IROC Series history, this being his 11th win. Second place among winningest drivers is Dale Earnhardt. He has 7 wins in IROC Series history. Cale Yarborough with 5, and then a host of Trek Martin, Bobby Unser, Rusty Wallace. All of those gentlemen with 4 wins in their careers. And as far as races on oval tracks are concerned, this was the 7th oval track race win for Allenser Jr. in 54 oval track events. That will tie him with Dale Earnhardt, each man with 7 wins on oval tracks. The other 3 for Unser Jr. coming on road courses, where again he is very much among the...
Let's get going. We have a little bit about a lot of things for you today from the Speedway as we get closer to the big one on Sunday today. A big win for a driver who was left behind by his crew last night. An accident on the track that looks much worse than it was, and big-name drivers behind the wheel of identical cars. Greg Wilmoth was there for all of it and joins us live from the Speedway with the pictures. Greg?
Thank you very much, Patrick. You know, there's been some concern at the Speedway this week that the cars were so similar that they wouldn't be able to pass during the Daytona 500. Well, some cars that are identical proved that that point was not true during the International Race of Champions. Yes, identically prepared Pontiac Firebirds, the mission to allow the elite drivers to decide the race, not the cars. Darrell Waltrip in the yellow car ran up front for a while, but wound up a disappointing 11th. 8 of 12 drivers would lead this thing. Terry Labonte in the blue and Robbie Gordon get after it, making a nice move. Jeff Gordon in the red car led for 9 laps, but he couldn't hold off Al Unser Jr. Little Al led 18 of the 40 laps and kept guys like Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt, Randy LaJoy, and Tom Kendall behind him in the 2 through 5 spots afterwards. Al Jr. said, patience here has paid off.
And I've been trying 12 years. During that 12 years, my father's come down and won it a couple times, and I go, man, and then to come so close a couple times that I've already come very close there and not getting it, I was just, it is very special. We were dead serious to do the best we could today.
So the first race of the day was the Discount Auto Parts 200 for the Goodies Dash Series cars, and Lakeland's George Crenshaw in car 7 had the scariest of the experiences in Daytona. He was running 7th, and car 7 flipped 7 times. He was shaken, stirred, but was all right. The new car, $45,000 worth, was totaled. Crenshaw's crash was followed by another mishap. On lap 70 of 80, Junior Miller and Andy Houston are among several who get tangled up. All the guys, though, despite the looks of this thing, as serious as it appeared, were all okay. In the end, Brian Sockwell won the race, but most wondered afterwards how the guy in the first crash won his crash with disaster.
I never did black out. I never did. I do remember hanging onto the steering wheel and kind of ducking my head down and closing my eyes, and I just sat there and rode it out.
Like an 8-second ride on the back of a bull.
Right, or worse.
All right, absolutely. The big race tomorrow, the Goodies 300, the Grand National cars, and then there's some race on Sunday, Patrick, called the Daytona 500.
All right, Greg, thank you. We'll look forward to that. The Magic folks are in action.
Stevie Reed, Shane Hall, Jason Keller, Lyndon Abbott, Jim Bounds, Pat Barrett, Jamie Opie, Andy Hillenberg, Doug Hebron, Johnny Chapman, Mark Green, and starting 45th on the field, Dale Shaw, former Busch Grand National champion. Again, a reminder in the infield, ladies and gentlemen, those of you with flags in the infield will ask again your courtesy over your flag as a courtesy of your race fans and fans. Competitors in the waters, please over your flags during the running.
Land down there in the first pit.
Take a look at possibly a problem, maybe an ignition problem, the 89 car. From Carl Simmons, 695, and that's the green flag.
The garage area, as far as everybody on the racetrack, a lot of smiles as you'd expect, particularly you mentioned the Taco Dime pit area, as they're ready to get themselves set for a pit stop here and continue on. But we'll have an update from the garage here in just a moment.
Go to Winston Kelly.
Kyle Petty has just pulled his Chevrolet down pit road. A little bit of damage to the right front of the car. They're trying to hammer that out. Just behind him, Doug Reed has some damage to his automobile. He's been on pit road a couple of laps. They're working all around that car against sheet metal damage on the Doug Reed car.
So that's the story of some of the machines on pit road getting repairs made after an accident puts us under the yellow flag at lap 12 of 120. On the back straightaway, Dale Jarrett, Stevie Reed, Doug Reed, Kyle Petty, Shane Hall, and Joe Bessie. Shane Hall and Dale Jarrett start at the top of the banking. Now they begin to ease their way back down to the bottom groove, but Nemechek is there. Almost some contact in the middle of the racetrack as they place off the turn.
And they almost got 3 deep coming off that corner. It kind of takes your breath every time you look up there. Now, 3 cars working their way, and they're going back down the start finish line.
Takes into the bottom of the racetrack, and Buckshot Jones hooks up with him. They'll go into a trap now and go side by side with Purvis coming off the corner down the short straightaway. Now those cars are being double wide. That's from the 7th position on back. The front 6 and broken away single file. They hit the front 7. Michael Walter got away from the side by side. And thus
holds to arrest down on the apron in turn 1. And we are under caution for an incident coming on turn 2.
Lap number 30. We begin with the leader, Elliott Sadler's pit.
Elliott comes to a very smooth stop just behind him and Joe Nemechek. Further down, several pit stops. Nemechek has 3. Then he's pit cross pit mode along with Mike McLaughlin, Dale Fishline, Bill Carson, Blake from Elton Sawyer. He's on pit road along with Jim Wilson from Mason Rocker. Left side Gunn and Considine. All these cars getting right side tire puts up a wheel round to the left. Jimmy Spencer was only 2. Now up to Jim Phillips. Sliding to Chancy Randy LaJoyce on the pit lane along with Dick Tripoli.
I saw you glued to the set today and trying to buy some tickets for the 500 tomorrow. Scalping is illegal, remember that.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
The Super Bowl of stock car racing will take place tomorrow at the Daytona International Speedway, but before the 500, the Grand National Circuit was in the spotlight today for the running of the Gargoyles 300. And if you're wondering, gargoyles are hip sunglasses, an item that ironically was not needed thanks to Mom Nature. Drivers did need to bring their helmets, though. Once again, the race formerly known as the Goodies 300 provided plenty of headaches. On just the 12th lap, Winston Cup drivers Dale Jarrett and Kyle Petty get tangled up in a 6-car crash. Joe Bessie was the one that got that dance started. When the music stopped, several cars were done for the day. Jarrett did continue. Then about 17 laps later, there was another mishap. David Hutto lost control, slapped the concrete, and Lyndon Amick picks the high side and headed for the smoke. Not a good idea as he slammed into Hutto's car hard. In the end, 4 drivers were involved in this melee. Hutto was done for the day, but all the guys say they're just thankful that we'll be all right.
Just like it looks like he came around and we all tried to scramble away. And I think I got hit from behind coming down at the bottom of the track, and from there we all just kind of hit the wall.
It just looked like a 24 car got a little sideways and lost the car, and then I just went trying to go high and I just hit somebody. I couldn't really tell with all the smoke.
We was right there in a pack of cars, trying to catch the lead draft, and then all of a sudden it just went around on me, but we had a good run going and was coming up through the field. It's a shame we had to end it like that.
I think the 70 car, he just got a little bit loose coming off too, and he got sideways, and we didn't have nowhere to go. The hole just closed up, and unfortunately we slid into him, and we're done for the day.
We need to check the license on all those guys. I don't know if they're old enough to drive. Hutto wasn't the only hotshot watching the rest of the race from the garage. Take a look from Mark Martin's viewpoint. He gets sideways and would also get hit during his spin. The Daytona Beach resident was okay, but clearly after this, generally you're out of contention. In the end, the man who battled Martin and the rest of the IROC field Friday was impressive again, steering clear of any problems. Randy LaJoie, the defending Grand National Points champ, started 14th, but in car 74, he finished in front.
Well, we've always run well here. Last year I finished 8th, 7th, running well all day, same race car. First time I was here, I ended up on my head, so I think I was in the infield care center. This is a whole lot better place.
Absolutely. Todd Bodine, who started 24th, came across second. Michael Waltrip was third. This race is considered a proving ground for those who make the decisions on the Winston Cup circuit, and LaJoie earned more respect and also showed off that, yes, he knows how to spray the champagne. Lakeland's Joe Nemechek ran strong during most of that race, and after starting third, finished fourth. But Joe's biggest worry this week wasn't the Saturday race, but getting into the main attraction tomorrow. And it hasn't been easy. Nemechek failed to qualify during the Twin 125s on Thursday in his Bell South mobility machine. But instead of packing up and heading for the next pit stop, team owner Felix Sabates bought out Phil Barkdahl and changed motors and paint jobs. In exchange for giving up his seat and giving it to Joe, Barkdahl gets $100,000 and any money won. Nemechek gets a second chance at the 500.
Carl, we've had everything go wrong that could go wrong, but team staff goes strong. The whole Bell South team has rebounded. We're going to be in the number 73 car for Sunday's Daytona 500, and I think we're going to have a pretty good showing.
You said money can't buy everything. Tomorrow's race starts at around 12:15. We'll get you geared up for Daytona 500 tonight on the Highlight Zone with plenty of previews at 11:35 here on Channel 9. The Orlando
What's the time, Denise?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Sunday
We've got it very early.
Sunday
Race starts at, what time does the race start? 12.
12:30.
12:30. We're sitting in, where are we sitting? Section K, in a tiny Lund grandstand. Just in front of those two blokes there. We got here very early, didn't we?
marks. Can Dale Jarrett win his third Daytona 500? Can he win it back-to-back? Will Dale Earnhardt win his first ever Daytona 500 in his 19th run? Can Sterling Marlin rebound but this ran so well on Thursday? Very, very optimistic about their effort here today. Those questions and many, many more to be answered here as we are about set for the start of the Daytona 500.
I love the smell myself. Almost good as napalm.
As the cars pass in review, one time, on your feet, and give a wave to some of the best drivers in the world.
We'd like to. There's so many good cars we talked about in the middle of the pack, strong cars back toward the tail end of the pack. The key, I think, about every team I've talked to down there says, if you're not in the top 10, you better use a little patience in the first 20 or 30 laps.
It is a 200-lap race, and that may not seem like much, but it is a long race, and you need to be there in the final 100 miles of the event, the final 40 laps. So you need to take your time getting through the field if things aren't to your liking in your race. Options on pit road, fuel only, left side tire.
close down there into the racetrack and ended up down closer to Mike Bagley. Right now, the safety crews are on the scene. Dale just dropped the window then. That's now an army of rescue vehicles. The ambulance and the safety crews converge on this black Chevrolet. There and begin to right now. Dale Jarrett here on pit road.
Currently just getting away off of turn number 2 and catching Jarrett and Irvin in the process. We've seen a lot of amazing things here at Daytona over the years. We have just seen another one after flipping his car on the back straightaway, climbing from the machine, getting in the ambulance. Dale Earnhardt decided what would be Lake Speed's machine, and we are under caution after a multi-car accident off of turn number 4, triggered back about 10th or 11th in line when Johnny Benson got turned into the outside, and everybody back behind him began scrambling and crashing. The yellow flag waving with 4 laps over the ambulance. Let's get a reaction down on pit road. Jim Phillips.
Still down in here, the Jeff Gordon did, and they're just waiting. You don't want to, the race is just not over yet till we cross that line, so that's the story.
Definite until it comes to be, but basically the field now on the back straightaway behind the pace car. When they come back around, we will see the white flag, and the Daytona Florida is rapidly drawing to a close. Been quite an interesting race. Different drivers taking their turns out in front as the dominant driver in the event. Dale Earnhardt early in the event is the dominant. Daytona 500. Let's go to Jim Phillips.
Well, Ray Everdale, it's official now. You've won the Daytona 500. Congratulations.
And Everdale making a good point that it is a 1-2-3 in the Daytona 500 for Hendrick Motorsports. Jeff Gordon, Terry Galani, and Ricky again, the other top finishers and players in this late race scenario.
Even longer to get home. Look at that mess. That story's coming up next.
And there are a lot of ways to make a lot of money at the Daytona 500. Not all of them are legal. I'm Peter Kaufman. I'll have that story coming up in a live report next.
Headaches 20 minutes after the checkered flag fell. This was the congestion outside the speedway, and we're told traffic is still backed up along I-4 in the westbound lanes from Daytona Beach to Orlando. Now that drive normally takes a good hour, but tonight drivers are saying it's taking them 3 to 4 hours to get home.
Well, race fans weren't the only ones busy at Daytona. So are the folks some call street-level hustlers, scalpers. They've been swarming around Daytona 500 all week, and many will leave with a tidy profit this week. Today, Channel 6 News reporter Peter Kaufman broke the scalpers' traditional code of silence. He joins us live at the Speedway with our story.
Well, Todd, professional scalpers beat a path to the door of all of the big-time sporting events in the country, the World Series and the Super Bowl, and yes, even the granddaddy of motorsports, the Daytona 500. It's less than a half an hour before race time, and waves of pumped-up fans are descending on the stadium.
Got 2 tickets for $100, $109 a day.
This tour bus operator from North Carolina hopes at least one of them still needs a ticket.
Well, I had some people cancel out on my trip, and I just want to get rid of tickets at face value or less.
Most of these people just want to get back what they paid for their tickets, but not the professional scalpers who are here for only one reason, to make money.
You just buy for as cheap as you can and sell for as much as you can.
Today, however, most of them took a beating.
We have tickets right now we cannot sell for even $20 each.
But overall, the Daytona 500 was very rewarding for the 20 or so guys from Massachusetts who jokingly call themselves the Union of Boston Scalpers.
Show me the money!
They made the bulk of their cash during last week, each man pocketing about $700 a day for 6 days.
Racetracks like this, there's like so many transactions in the parking lot that must be hundreds of thousands of dollars transacted.
On race day, the scalpers are looking over their shoulders, watching out for police. But Daytona Beach resident John Matthews says the scalpers often do fans like him a favor, selling tickets for hundreds less than the authorized brokers.
They allow these ticket agencies by law, they're out of state, they're allowed to buy blocks and blocks of tickets, and I can't get one. So if it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't have got these for face value.
Now the scalpers we spoke with say that they may hang around the Orlando area and look for more action. Otherwise, they're going to go right to the next Winston car race, which I believe is in North Carolina. Now, just for the record, it is illegal to scout tickets here in Florida for even $1 over face value. Todd and Michelle?
For some reason, they were having a hard time selling them today, huh?
Well, one of the problems was some of the weathercasters were forecasting rain, so a lot of the people were scared away from coming down here to buy some of these scout tickets. And then what happened was there were more and more and more tickets here, and therefore all the prices had to come down.
Good deal for the fans, anyway. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
3 lucky winners.
I will tell you guys, it was a wild ride, and when it was over, the youngest driver to ever win the Daytona 500 pulls right here into victory lane.
It's in front of us.
We'll have the story coming up
He
next.
gets bonnet and the fence.
Well, every year it's a race people look forward to.
Daytona 500, they look forward to it for good reason, Story, because a race like today, what a finish. How about it?
Oh, what a sensational finish. But you know, it really capped off a day that's
It doesn't take long for the action to pick up. On the 10th lap, Robert Presley touches somebody, and he starts to pirouette, doing the Daytona Ballet. This will bring an end to his day. Robert Presley is taken to the hospital for further examination. Then on the 49th lap, take a look at this. Jimmy Spencer hits the wall, bounces off Jeff Bodine. Jeff Bodine hits Derek Cope. Cope slides off the track, but he'll get back into the race. Then, coming into the pits, Jimmy Spencer, with no brakes, runs into his crewman, Wayne Jakes. He'll get back up, and he'll be okay. On the 90th lap, going down the backstretch, Steve Grissom moving down inside, looking for some racing room, but Ken Schrader is over there. They touch. They start spinning, and both are on a wild ride with just 12 laps to race. And they are racing. Dale Earnhardt up against the wall. Jeff Gordon is to his left. That gives Dale Earnhardt a lift. He loses control. He will roll once. Runs into Ernie Irvan. The hood of Ernie Irvan's car goes flying into the crowd. It looks bad, but Dale Earnhardt says, hey, I still can race that thing.
Gordon came up on me and the car pushed off the corner. I got into the wall, got back in him, checked up a little bit. Somebody hit me from behind. Next thing I know, we're on the roof again. Luckily, no one else hit the car. We just sort of bounced around up on our lid a little bit, scuffed around toward the back end up, whatever. I got an ambulance and I looked back at the car and I said, man, the wheels are still on that thing. I got out of the ambulance and asked the guy inside the car and he was hooking it up. I said, secret crank. And he cranked it up. I said, get out, give me the car back.
That mess is cleaned up with 6 laps to race. And racing they do. Jeff Gordon moves into the lead. Brings with him Terry Labonte in second place. Ricky Craven moves in behind them. But there can still be time for Bill Elliott running fourth to make that charge to the front, a position he had held late in the race. Then, with just 3 laps to go, it happens again. A wild scramble coming out of turn 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars are involved, closing down the track. And that will bring out the yellow flag, and that's how the race will finish, under caution, guaranteeing a Jeff Gordon win in his 5th year at the Daytona 500.
Wow, Daytona 500, I love you guys. This is great. When the cautions fell the way we need them to fall, I knew that God was on my side and that everything was going to be all right. I got to thank Terry Labonte and Ricky Craven. Those guys stuck on my bumper, and they probably could have passed me to try to better themselves, but they stuck with me, and we were able to win this thing 1, 2, 3 for Hendrick. It's a great day. So Jeff Gordon, who's 25 years old and is the youngest driver to ever win the Daytona 500, and he'll collect more than $377,000 for the victory. Dale Earnhardt, 45 years old. He's tried 19 times. He's going to have to come back at 20th again next year. Guys?
He can do it.
Any word on how the guy is out there, the person who was hit by the hood of the car?
No word on that yet, but he did get up and continue to work in the pit area, though.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Good day.
Coming up on Channel 6 News, don't want to be bothered while playing.
Well, here we are, just leaving Daystar Motel. It's Monday, 17th of February. This is South Atlantic Avenue. And here's the hotel. We're staying in that room there, 15. Just thought I'd video this because it's the last time we'll be staying here. And it's the hotel where I just was filming. And then here, it's Daytona Beach again. And our swimming pool, which we haven't used in 3 years. It's a Hyundai. Here we are on our way down to Key West. Not quite sure whereabouts we are.
180 miles north of Miami.
180 miles north of Miami. That's our little hire car again. We'll just stop for lunch. It's about 12:30 now, I think. So.
5 past.
Oh, is it? 12:05. Okay. And we use the esky again. Winner of the Daytona 500 esky. After you pushed her into the wall. I reckon he did. Here we are in Key Largo in the Florida Keys, just leaving, and we're heading down to Key West, which is the southernmost tip of Florida, of America. It's in a tropical zone now, and we had really heavy rain early this morning, but it's clearing up a bit now, and it's very humid and it's going to get quite warm. Peter shaved his beard off this morning.
So smooth.
So he's probably got a funny suntan now where it wasn't suntan. Where are we? Isla Morada. What? In it now, leaving it? Or coming in
it, I think.
Coming into it.
The water's nice colour.
This is Snake Creek.
Look at that.
Okay, we just found out we are now in Isla Morada, which is about a quarter of the way in to Key West.
So we're 80 miles.
80 miles from Key West. It's a lot like Daytona without the condos, really, isn't it?
Squid Row Dining. Nice. Hurricane Monument. Ew.
Must be to the people that lost their lives in hurricanes or something.
It's had a big one. That shark. Sick, isn't it?
Oh, I missed it. What's the bridge
It's called the Tea Table Channel.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Key West is at the end of a series of islands that are all linked together by bridges, which is Florida Keys, which is why we seem to be going over so many bridges. Oh, over there in the distance.
Yeah. See the name of this channel?
No.
Channel 2.
Channel 2.
Must be ABC then. No, it's Channel 5 now.
This is just to show how everybody hooks up their cars behind their Winnebagos when they go travelling. It's actually sort of on a trailer hooked up to the back of the mobile home, and they tow it around with them. We've stopped for some reason. I think it's because of roadworks. Can't see now because there's people in the way. We've backed up for miles behind us, and oops, miles in front of us. Can't see past that car though. We're just all sitting here, dead stop.
Was it Key Largo? It was what, 100 miles from Key West?
It was 100 miles from Key West.
We've been on the road over 2 hours.
And we're not there yet. Oh, we're moving. Better put your seatbelt on then.
There's somebody went for a jog.
He's the one that went for the jog up the street. Now I'm going to get stuck waiting for him. As you can see, scenery hasn't really changed at all. Okay, we're stuck again. Drove about what, mile or two?
Yeah.
Oh, we got stuck again. So I turned the engine off and just sitting here. This is a horrible view that we have while we're stuck in a traffic jam.
Oh, we finally made it to Key West. It took a long time to get here. This is looking towards the old town centre. So this is where all the historic buildings are. That's the old custom house that they're renovating. That's the front of the customs building. We've reached the southernmost point in the USA.
Hey, miss, ask your hubby if he wants a group shot of both of you. Like, turn on the other side.
You could read it. That's basically downtown Key West, just through there, the old district. We've taken a local shuttle bus back to our car park. Actually, the weather's nice now up here. It was a bit warm before, but now it's nice and breezy. Sea breeze is in. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot.
Nice building.
typical Key West building. I like the roof, tin roof. I think it's probably zero back in London. We don't miss it at all.
It's now nearly 5 o'clock and we're just leaving Key West. It's really funny. Over there in the distance, which you can't see. Yeah, it's a 7-mile bridge. We're just about to go onto it, and it's actually 7 miles long. It's massive. now on it. The sun's nearly set. Reached a lumpy bit yet, have we, in the middle?
Sit down, Paul. Yeah, the curves up. That's where it is.
Can't see it from there.
Steep, isn't it?
And in case you're wondering, yes, we're still on the 7 Mile Bridge. We're 43 miles north of Key West. So we're making good time coming back today. We're just about to reach the middle of the bridge. Wednesday must be the 19th. We're just about to leave Key Largo. This is a hotel where we're staying. This is opposite the road. It's a hotel we've spent 2 days in, 2 nights. And there's our car. And down that way is Key West. And that way is Miami. Here we are. It's Lake Okeechobee.
Yeah.
About halfway there to Orlando.
I think so.
Yeah, what's the time now?
10 to 1.
And we left at 10.
10.
Spanish moss hanging off the trees over there.
Comes a fishing boat through there.
Here's a storm we've been following all the way. You dark, dark clouds.
Got the time there, Denise?
10 to 5.
10 to 5. And we've come back to the same hotel when we first stayed here 2 years ago in Orlando. Driving back from Key Largo, we made such good time that we've made it back here to this old hotel. And just down here, where is it? That's where I fell in the mud 2 years ago.
Become a swamp monster.
So we're sitting on that chair and my Coke can rolled down here. And that's why that chain is broken. Yeah, there it is. Because I grabbed that chain and it broke it off the upright. And down I went, down about my knees in sludge. So we fly back to London tomorrow. They've taken away the paddle boats. Apart from that, nothing's changed. Denise is still there with me. This is our room. What's this place called again? Fountain Plaza now. Yeah. Nice big rooms.
Fountain Park.
We've just finished packing. We'll be leaving in a couple of hours. We're on the second floor. I'd like to stay for an extra few days just to make good use of that pool there.
Well, here we are at Orlando Airport. Waiting, waiting, waiting. It's 4:30. And we don't fly out now till 7:45 because the plane's been delayed. So we're just sitting in the Hyatt hotel section again, as we did last year. Just having a relax. See Peter's new shoes.
Welcome to St Ives, which is over here. This is our third day on the road. We left London Saturday midday. Today's Monday. We haven't filmed much yet because it's been fog. For almost the entire 3 days it's been fog and rain. So I'm going to spend most of today looking around St Ives. Looks interesting from here, just hope the fog clears up later. It's quite cold.
Very cold.
Suppose it is early March though, we should have expected it.
Should have remembered our coats.
We forgot our coats. It's not very clever. Anyway, the van's got us here. We're down by the harbour now in St Ives, which is in Cornwall. Out there, and the tide's out. Come down to the waterfront now, down by the harbour. Looks like there's an old jetty there. All around Cornwall you find cabbage trees. But down here they're calling palm trees. There's our van. Right in the middle of the shot. You can just see it.
Which is a good sign.
At least it's still there.
Yeah.